lay this down just to make sure I don't burn nothing. Don't want to crack the tile floor or nothing like that, so. Wrap this around this way so I don't hit it with my torch. Done. Perfect. Now, what happens after this? This goes into here. You braze this connection to that connection. Braze this connection to that connection. I'll set this up real quick here. So, what I'm going to do is throw this. Unfortunately, I just got to heat this up a little bit more on this low side, but should be good to go. Let's get this low side nice and hot again. The access port. There we go. Now she's properly brazed. So, what I like to do, I like to stick it in about halfway, right there. And then, what I like to do, connect all these connections. So, well, it's gotta kind of go like this, but this has got to go sideways. So this has got to go on the compressor like this, not like this. So like that. So there's that. Let's see here. See. For a screw real quick. So we screw in this fucking I'm brain dead. You gotta screw in the ground, of course. Otherwise you're shit out of luck if something happens. That compressor will not last. So, ooh, that shit is hot. Still. Put it on there. And kind of just wrap it around like that. And you just want to hit it around. Together, so this one came off. So you must put these in here on the compressor. You have to do that, otherwise it'll shake really bad. Okay, it's all on. So just pop these clips on right here. Sometimes these do not go on easily at all, but say 80% of them just pop right on. You gotta be careful about cutting yourself, burning yourself, all that fun stuff. So this is gonna go to there. Same thing with this one. Actually, here is cut a little bit more off because it will not go in crooked at all. Don't want to take too much pipe off because if you do, you're gonna have to find some pipe to make it all work, which means more leaks, more connections, more work, less money, less time, less money, more aggravation. This thing would just cut through and I need a new one. Seems like a new blade. So there's that. Now this should just slide right in, hopefully. Or I'm just going to use the torch to put it in, which that'll be fine, I guess. But first, I'm going to do the back one. Take this, get that nice and hot, push it in, there we go. What I do is I take this little tiny piece, I bend it, like this, like that, and then I'll take this, drop hand, put it behind there. And then it'll suck all that brazing rod in. She's golden. Perfect. Now we got to get this one in. So you must have stay stove. If you don't, it's not going to work. You got to have this kind of brazing rod too. This stuff's about 80 bucks, but it lasts you, forever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this end. So basically what you want to do is you want to get the copper nice and hot. It'll expand, it'll let me slide this in deeper so I don't restrict it with brazing rod. Because that is the worry, is you restrict it and then you're screwed. And then it comes back to me. So this is for somebody that sold their house and they just want to get this thing fixed. So what I'm going to do, take this stay stove, perfect. Now, I mean, this stuff's kind of drying out a little bit, but it'll work. It's pretty hot, so it is what it is, but it'll work just fine, I guess. So you just take that, you want to wipe it all on it. That's a little bit much, but you got to get that done, otherwise you'll be having a lot of fun. A whole lot of fun. Yeah, this stuff cakes up, and then it doesn't want to let you shut the actual bottle, which makes it dry out. So if you guys are ever doing this, wash these threads, wipe them off with something, burn it off, I don't know, whatever works. And this shit is not good for your hands, so try not to get it on your hands. Alright, so LG compressor is pretty much done. So the one thing I didn't show is debrazing it. So all I do is I heat this up and I pull this off, but I don't pull until this is like cherry hot. I just kind of give it a little bit of a pull, because if you just rip it off, you might fuck up the tubing. Same thing with this, you gotta be careful, but you just heat this up, pull this tube off, and then pull the compressor off as long as you take the electrical connections off. So, here we go. This one's a little bit, well, I wouldn't say slower, but it is. It's a slower joint to do. That didn't work. Okay. What I do, take this, put it on the back of the pipe, and it'll start sucking it in whenever it gets hot enough. That one's all done. That's a simple joint to do, not too hard. Everybody says it's the hardest joint, but it is definitely not the hardest joint to do. So now, filter dryer. I always recommend using a dye dryer. This one is a dye. I don't know if you can see that, but it does say dye dryer. Whenever you are going to braise this, you want to take out the core, otherwise you'll melt it, and that'll be a lot of fun. And then I just take it, I just bend it a little bit like this, boom, boom, simple. Also, what I didn't show in the beginning was blowing out the system. So once you get this compressor, this old compressor out, this one's not old, but the other one, once you get the old compressor out, what you do, you hook up one of these. It's called a Robin Air Process Tube Adapter Kit, part number 12458. You take that, you hook it up to each individual tube. I don't care, all four of them. Not at the same time, you can't do that, but you hook it up, you blow nitrogen through for like a minute or two, you purge it, you let it build up pressure, let off, let it build up pressure a couple times, make sure everything's flowing good, because if it's not, you're gonna have a restriction. So I'll show you how to do this. And then once I do this side, just the dye dryer, which is pretty much the end of it, other than vacuuming it down and getting refrigerant into it. So what you do, I'll show you guys how to put this dye dryer on. It's not too hard, but it is a little bit harder because the tubing gets very, very hot very fast, and you will melt it. And if you run out of tubing here, you're out of luck unless you want to cut into the refrigerator. So over here, there's a wherever where this tube is. Right here. You'll have to cut that out. I've seen it done. I've never done it because I'm just not going to do that. It's too much work and too much. Too risky for a recall. So what I do is I just sand everything down each side. What I do is I will put this one on this. I've already got this sanded, so I'll just kind of shove it on there. And what I've found as a trick is taking the drill so it doesn't sag, because basically if you heat this up enough, this will sag and it'll make it just a pain in the ass. But you do need to use this stuff again. I will wash my hands after this because I'm not trying to put this in my mouth later. So there we go. Sweet. Still doesn't shut right, but I'll have to get a new bottle for sure. And what that does is there's a barrier on the steel, so you can't just braze steel to copper normally. From my understanding, there's a barrier on the steel, kind of like it's like a rust barrier, I guess, because it's stainless steel. So in order to break that barrier, you have to use that stuff with the heat. So that's kind of how that goes. So what I'll do is I'll actually throw it over there. guys to see this here. So, filter dryer, the dye dryer. I use the drill to hold it up because if you take this away and you start brazing right here, this is going to sag and it's going to make it a pain in the ass for you. So it's kind of my little trick. I use a lot of heat generally, but I try not to sometimes because basically, and also the other thing too, use too much heat, this will suck all of the brazing, and then it will cover right here, and you'll have a non-working refrigerator. So there is that. So here we go. I'll try to get it done quickly as I can. Yeah. Try not to use too much heat on this. So just about there. What I do with this. Just give it enough heat. Suck in right there. It's good to go. That's how fast it is. If you use too much heat, it'll fuck up. So I don't have a rag here to wet that down, so I'm gonna have to grab it with my glove. So what I do is I just wipe it off so it doesn't corrode anything. You do not want to do that. So it's a little bit hot still. What I do is stick that in there. Then what I'll do is, so basically this is going to be pushed in. It's going to come out a little bit. Then this is going to sit right there. I'm going to braise that with what's left of this. Well, just a tad bit of it. And then should be good to vacuum it down. Well, I'll pressure test and I'll vacuum. I usually don't pressure test because I'm pretty confident in my brazes, but I will just do it to show you guys. So you want to hold the torch far enough away to where it doesn't just instantly melt it. That looks like it to me. Looks like it didn't take 100%, which is kind of odd. Still a little gap in there. There we go. So what I did there is, for some reason, it was sucking right up into here, but this is so far, and this is about that far in, roughly, so it's not gonna get brazed shut. But what I try to do is I try to put the braze right here and kind of lead it in so it sucks it in. Same thing with this end. It's all brazed together properly. So yeah, now we just vacuum down, well, pressure test, vacuum down. Basically what I do is I put nitrogen in here, make sure it goes all the way around, make sure it comes back to here. Same thing from here to there. Then I know I have no restrictions, we're good to go. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. This is just an LG compressor replacement, so we're almost done here.